Hello YouTube, just wanted to give you a quick update on my fan situation on my S10. My S10 with the Tahoe engine from a 2001. I've got this bracket just sitting up here, a bunch of junk sitting under the hood, and I've got to rewire my fans and redo everything because I had a failure. I had the Dodge Intrepid fans on here that I got from the junkyard. However, I had one of the fans, specifically the one that was right here, short out on me, and I had forgotten to put a fuse in line for the power supply. So that turned out to not be good. Essentially just had a wire going from here to a relay, from a relay down to the fan, and when that fan burned up, it actually grounded out on itself and caused something of an electrical fire. Not good. So it burned that wire all up, and I was like, okay, these fans need to go. So I wanted to come up with a new setup, and I bought these fans on Amazon for $35 for the pair of them. They are a 12-inch fan. And I decided to make a new bracket for it. I just went to Home Depot and got like this U-shaped steel. I guess it's about an inch wide-ish. And then I kind of notched it out and welded it together so that I have a mounting tab, then drilled a hole, riveted that in. And then I welded these mounting tabs here, drilled holes in that so I could put these bolts there, or the Teflon threads on them so they don't back out. And then on the bottom side I drilled holes, just used some nice fat sheet metal screws and screwed it into here to hold it down in position on the bottom. So you can kind of see the setup that I've got here. But these fans are in here really good. I mean, they don't move around at all. Like, they're in there nice and tight. And I think this is a pretty good solution. Flip these fan blades over so that they'll push properly instead of pulling. That Intrepid setup, I had them wired backwards so that they would push, but I have a feeling like they weren't quite as efficient as if the blade was facing the right direction, naturally. So this is the new setup. I think it's going to work a lot better. I don't have a shroud because it is a pusher. If there was a shroud here, it would prevent air from going through the radiator and the evaporator and everything. So I think this is actually a pretty good solution. I think it's going to work out well. I didn't have any overheating issues with the other one, but I did have the fan failure. So I went ahead and just made a new bracketing system and everything. I'm going to rewire it, do it properly this time with some daggone fuses and everything so it's done properly. And so next time if I have a fan failure, it'll just be the one fan that goes down and everything else will keep running. All right, so this is my setup underneath the hood for my electric fans and also for my fuel injectors. So I just had the relays kind of all stacked together and zip tied up onto the nut that was sitting here. There was like a post sticking up there and I just kind of laid it over that. That was kind of like a half-ass fix, so I came back today and redid everything. Okay, so that's a little better. You can see this is a pretty simple setup overall, but it looks much cleaner than what I had there before. So we've got the 4 relays here. The 2 on the right are for my electric fans. The 2 on my left are for my fuel injector setup. So what I did was, to make this look all nice and clean, was I just took some aluminum and a press brake and pressed this in a U shape. And I've got it to where it attaches to this bolt right up here at the top. And then around the back side, there's another bolt down here that I bolted onto, just drilled holes and put that in position. So it's held in by the 2 bolts, 1 bolt here and 1 bolt back underneath the bottom. It's nice and sturdy. In there, I've got my power supply coming from here. I've got 1 fused power supply for my fans, 1 fused power supply for fuel injectors. So all these 4 fuses here are for the fan setup. We've got the 2 15 amp fuses that go to my electronic fans, and then we've got the 2 3 amp fuses that go to the other side of the relay. So again, the 2 relays here to the right are for my fans, and that's pretty much it. Pretty simple setup. I think you can see the inline fuses here. I've got 1 on each of these main wires coming off that battery positive terminal. But it's very important that you set up fuses for your electronic fans. It may not seem like it, but the reason why I redid all this was because I actually had a fan fail. It grounded itself out and it burned my wiring all up. So I had to redo it. So do it right the first time, otherwise you'll be doing it twice if you have a fan failure. But I just wanted to show you this setup. I think this is much cleaner than what I had before. It looks fairly stockish. It doesn't look completely out of place. I put wire loom over everything, except for these 4 wires here. I'm going to get some smaller wire loom, stick that over that. That way, again, everything looks nice and factory. I want everything to stay as clean as possible under the hood. Well, factory look anyways. As you can see, the wiring isn't exactly clean, but it does have a factory-ish look to it. It doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great. I'm not building a show truck, but I wanted it to look somewhat clean. And this was another step in cleaning everything up. So I hope this helps you with your fan setup. I'll also put the wiring from lt1swap.com. That's what I used for this fan setup. I'll post that in the video as well so you can see it. Thank you very much for watching YouTube. I hope this helps you out. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. And thank you again.